How to Grow Success by Elizabeth Towne, 1904. Success is not money, nor is it fame. The king in the ancient fable turned to gold all that he touched and starved to death. The sick man of the East has wealth galore and worldwide fame, but so abjectly afraid is he that he is never a moment alone, never tastes a dish that has not first been tried on a menial, and springs to his feet with pistol in hand if his best friend across the table happens to make a quick movement. Money and power he has, but not success. Money is not success, but success includes the power to command money. Success includes the liberty to command money enough to gratify all one's aspirations, to better his own condition and the condition of those dependent upon him. This does not mean that success includes money enough to enable one to outshine his neighbour. No man with that aim in life was ever successful, or ever will be, not to outshine, but to shine upon his neighbours is the successful man's mission. Think about your work. If you are to make a success of it, and make it pay, blessed is that man who hath found his work. If you are doing work you dislike, you will not succeed, and all the treatments in creation can't make you succeed. Get into line with a work you do love, something in which you can express yourself. A person's success is measured on the unseen side by the amount of love he feeds his work with, and on the seen side it is measured by money. It is the amount of real love a man puts into his work determines exactly the amount of money he or some other man can get out of it. If he respects himself and the rest of mankind, if he knows that justice rules now, really knows it, he will himself get the money. If he knows just what mean and grasping liars men are, he attracts men who will rob him of the money due his work. But in either event, he is at the bottom of the whole business. The individual himself is lord of his own circumstances. Circumstances and other men are puppets in his hands. As a man realizes this, he moves circumstances and people at will by pulling the right strings in himself. You must love people in order to be able to move them. You must be able to see them as they see themselves, and you must meet them heartily. Love is not sentimental gush love. It is not a self-announcer. Love is divine emotion, that which moves outward from the point where the universal meets the personal. Love manifests in the person as pure goodwill. It shines in his face, beams from his eyes, and impels his every action. The successful man is a man of pure goodwill. Remember, success is the liberty to command, coupled with a clear, conscious, and loving heart. In proportion as a man is possessed of goodwill, his conscience is clear. Goodwill is the outward moving power of a loving heart. Only such a heart ever has liberty to command. In proportion as a man succeeds in letting goodwill flow outward to each person, thing, or circumstance with which he comes in touch, in that proportion will he be able to influence persons, things, and circumstances according to his will, his good will, which is just to all. The art of succeeding is the art of concentrating goodwill and using it for definite purposes. He that doubteth and yet doeth directs evil will, not good will, and he is condemned in his own soul. Not only that, but he will reap outwardly what he has sown, evil will. Good will must go out to all mankind, collectively and individually. A single grudge is a worm in the bud of your success. Send out such positive, definite personal goodwill that a grudge finds no room to grow by eating out your heart and success. It is your grudge that has the power to destroy your success. Your grudge against person, place, work, or fate. Spray your soul daily, hourly with goodwill, and withhold not the spray from thy neighbour. The essentials of success are these: goodwill toward all. This includes justice, honesty, a clear conscience, and a loving heart. An aim, a stake to be reached. Eternal stick-to-itiveness, concentration of thought and effort. A man's aim in life is the reflection of his own opinion of himself. A man with a pretty low opinion of himself has no aim at all. He feels himself merely a fallen twig, borne helplessly on the bosom of life. Wake up, exalt yourself, and set your stake just as high as you dare. Then, as you find you can face your stake with a feeling that you are really going to make it after all, congratulate yourself upon your soul stature and move your stake higher. Listen to what somebody of the name of Buxton has said about the third essential to success. The longer I live, the more I am certain that the great difference between men, between the feeble and the powerful, the great and the insignificant, is energy, invincible determination, a purpose once fixed, and then death or victory. That quality will do anything that can be done in this world, and no talents, no circumstances, no opportunities will make a two-legged creature a man without it. Another has said, "All things are possible to him that believeth." Concentration of thought upon the details of getting there. You can't afford to waste thought upon grumblings and resentments against individuals, circumstances, or fate. You may imagine you have brains enough to divide between your work and these petty fault findings and resentments, but you have not. Every idle thought subtracts a definite amount from your success and your cash. Put your thoughts into business. This does not mean you are never to think of anything but business, but it does mean that you are never to separate thought from goodwill. Whatever you can think of with goodwill will aid you to self-expression, will increase your power. Concentrate on the detail of getting there. I was once lost above the snow line on a great mountain and had to retrace my steps upward to the point where I had taken the wrong trail. I was so anxious to get to that point that my whole soul seemed to leap upward and away toward that place, leaving me so utterly paralyzed that I was actually unable to take a step. In a few moments I collected myself and put my thought into the climbing. When I did that, I made the distance easily and quickly. Where the thought runs ahead like that, the will, which is the real motive power of the body, actually goes out of the body, leaving it unable to accomplish what is expected of it. When you are doing something, put your thought into it. Will follows thought, and thus you work easily and effectively. When you are relaxed and resting, you may without injury let thought take any flight. Work done in this way actually rejuvenates the body, whilst a scattered mind scatters or disintegrates the body. You are a unit, a one. Work as one. Fear is a great bugaboo, and like most bogies, he is merely a shadow. No amount of fear will hinder your success if you will keep your eye on the stake you have set and keep sticking to it mentally, fears or no fears. When I ride the wheel, I see stones to be avoided. If I look at one and say to myself, I am afraid, I'll probably run over it. Then go over it every time. But I may have more fear. It may be a large stone, but if I say to myself, I shall go around that, I invariably go around it. It is the word, the mental statement, that determines whether I miss or hit those stones. I have proven by hundreds of careful observations that fear has absolutely nothing to do with it. I may be scared over something. I may not be able to keep my eyes off the obstacle, but if I affirm resolutely I shall miss that, I miss it every time. Our bodies are just bundles of mental statements which are being hourly augmented and revised by more statements. It is these mental statements that incite motion. Every thought sends vibrations clear to the tips of the nerves and on out through the personal and universal auras. Every thought incites corresponding muscular activity. Mind reading is really muscle reading. Fear literally has no power over your body except as you state to yourself that it has. Deny it. Deny that fear has power. Make persistent mental statements of what you desire. Make them in the face of fear until fear tucks his tail between his legs and gets off the earth. Here is a sentence to concentrate upon. I am open on my inner side to the inexhaustible ocean of divine love and power. I flow forth from it and am one with it. All success is mine through the working of this power. I shall succeed in all my undertakings. Be still and know